welcome to Hanging by a Thread. My name is Ailsa, and today I'm here for a Whip Wednesday update where we take a look at everything that's currently on my needles. I haven't done one of these in a while. I got caught up in a lot of illness. We had like a good month there where either myself, my partner, or our kid was sick, and that just completely derailed everything. I've also been in the position of I've had a secret test knit I'm working on, so I'm not able to share anything about that, which means quite a big portion of my knitting I can't share on my update here. And then I've also been doing gift knitting, which I don't want to share here because sometimes some of the people I'm knitting for I know watch. So quite a lot I haven't been able to show you. And then I've also not been in a position to sit down and record anything. So there's been that. But if you haven't been here before, or if you have and you just need a little recap, this is my less structured, less formal, quick look at everything that I've been working on lately. Where we talk about my current whips and I just show you what progress I've been making. So I thought we could go through what I have. There's not a ton of progress on all of these because of the aforementioned other projects that I can't show you. But we'll have a look at what there is and I'll tell you what I have been doing. So first up, I'm going to show you my Thru Lines, which is getting bigger. I'm really liking how this is working up. So this is the Thru Lines scarf shawl from Andrea Mowry, and I'm knitting this with the suggested yarns, which are Brooklyn Tweed Loft for the kind of dark grey, and the lighter grey are both Brooklyn Tweed Loft, and then the contrast color is a Spin Cycle yarn. So I'm really liking how this is looking as it's working up. I'm making like pretty slow progress on this, but I have been picking it up here and there when I have some time between other projects, and it's really enjoyable when I do pick it up. So this is a combination of doing kind of mosaic knitting, which is how you get these kind of, I think of them like train tracks. So how you get that detail. So you're doing kind of slip stitches to get this detail moving along the scarf. So you're doing that and then some texture as well. So it's actually quite fun. Each row really does feel like it has something else happening on it. So you're never getting bored. The downside of that is that I can't memorize what I'm meant to be doing on this. It's something like a 15 or 16 row repeat, and I can't remember what I'm meant to be doing when. So I do need to be looking at the pattern, and I do have to be, it's fine once I start a row, like I can just kind of follow the rhythm of that row, but I can't just get into a real groove with it. So I have to have my pattern close by, and I have to be kind of like looking at it every so often. So it's not mindless knitting, which I don't mind. It's just it's harder to kind of just squeeze it in. One of the other cool things that I meant to talk about with this one is she does give you really good advice for carrying your yarn up inside. So it's got a, see if I can show you this. It's got an applied I-cord edge, so you're making the I-cord as you go along, and she gives you good advice. There's a video tutorial of how to catch your yarn as you're going up inside the I-cord, and I just think that edge. Let's see, is that working? Can you see it? That edge is just looking so neat and lovely. I'm really pleased with how that's working up. So I am still enjoying this. I'm still working on it little by little, but just trying to find the time to kind of squeeze it in when I'm between some of the other projects I'm working on. I don't know when it's going to get done. I think I'm at I think I'm about halfway through the number of increases. Obviously with each set of increases, each row gets longer. So I think I'm about halfway through, but I might be less than that. So, and then you're going to obviously be like then decreasing down the other side. It doesn't feel like it's at that larger size yet, does it? So I probably do have quite a lot more to go until I get to the middle of the scarf, and then I'll be decreasing again. But yeah, we'll see. I'm not in any rush to get this done, but I would like to have it. So only from sort of like a personal point of view, it would be nice to get some more progress on this one. The next thing I'm going to show you that This one really doesn't have a huge amount of progress from when I last showed it on the channel. I've really just done a few rows here and there, but I'll hold it up for posterity anyway. This is my Fidalgo cardigan. This is a pattern by Michelle Frazetta, aka Mishi Fraz. This, I don't think too much has changed. I've just been working back and forth on the body rows. I am yet to get to the second buttonhole, so, but you can see it kind of coming along. You can see it's looking like a cardigan. Again, this one, I'm in no particular rush to finish. There's no like deadline that I have for it, but another one that I would just obviously like to have in my wardrobe. I think it's going to be really nice. So yeah, nothing too much to share about this one. I do think that I am going to slightly increase the number of rounds between buttonholes because I want my cardigan to be a little bit longer. And that's one of the things that she recommends in the pattern is that you can kind of increase the number of rows between each buttonhole because you're doing an integrated as you go button band. So if you add some more rows as you go to where you got the spacing between your buttons, then you'll have more length. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just adding, I think, something like 2 rows per, or my plan is to add 2 rows extra between each button. And then if I feel like that's not long enough by the time I get to the bottom ribbing, I can always just add some extra length in the ribbing. But that's kind of what I was thinking to kind of keep it feeling proportional. So yeah, this one I'm like very irregularly picking up. It is quite mindless. It is easy to just pick up and put down, other than having to count the number of rows between the buttons. But yeah, I probably should pick this one up a little bit more. But again, I have really been focusing on that test knit, which I think my deadline for, so I have to have, for the test knit, I have to have the yoke and a sleeve done by December 18th. And obviously I'll still then be carrying on with it after that deadline is met because I want to have the finished sweater. But yeah, but maybe I'll have some more time to kind of alternate between projects once that deadline's met. But I'm just quite keen to make sure I make that deadline. So yeah, maybe this one will get a little bit more love once that deadline is passed. Okay, finally, and yeah, it's kind of a short one today because I can't show you my main project that I've been working on. But I do have an Advent project. So I will just say before we start, if you are knitting the Cozy Knitters 2025 Advent socks and you do not want to see the colors, if you are trying to avoid any spoilers at all, look away now because I'm going to be showing the socks that I've started with this skein. So yeah, I guess to give some background, I have had a couple of Advents in the past. I had an Advent swap in 2023 where I was paired with someone else and we each made like kind of like a scrappy Advent. That was really fun, but I haven't ended up making anything with that yarn yet. I keep having, well, I've tried different things with that yarn, but I haven't quite like bit the bullet on any of it yet or made anything complete with it. Like I started a granny square blanket, I started a different kind of thing when I haven't got anywhere with it. I think I will use those yarns, but I haven't yet. And then last year I got the Advent from like a 24 mini skein Advent from the Fiber Fox, which was a beautiful fade. It looks so lovely. And I started making an Advent project with it last year, and then I just got overwhelmed. I actually got so overwhelmed that I stopped opening the colorways. So I have seen all of the colorways because I've seen them on social media and other people's patterns using them and what have you. But I haven't actually even opened all of mine from last year because I just found it like almost too much pressure. I know that sounds really weird, but I kind of thought, I'm not sure if advent boxes are for me. I'm not entirely sure what patterns to do with them. Um, I'm not the like the opening a new yarn every day and then trying to think about how to use it together or what I'm going to do. Like, I don't know. I got overwhelmed last year. I'm not sure if they're for me. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind and decide to try one again. Um, but I certainly won't be doing that until I've at least used up the Fiber Fox one from last year. And if and when I've done that one, maybe I'll consider trying it again in the future. But all of that to say, I wasn't going to buy a mini skein advent this year. I knew that wasn't something that I wanted to do or that made sense for me. But I was quite interested in the idea of a sock advent. And so often with sock advents, you get a skein or two skeins of self-striping sock yarn that has, you knit a stripe a different color for each day of the advent season. And I've never knit self-striping socks before, so that was the first thing. And then, so I thought that would be fun. And I just like the idea of like the smallness. Like, I know I'm going to make socks, so the decision about like patterns and all of that is taken out of my hands, more or less. Obviously, I still had to think a little bit about patterns, but I knew it was going to be socks. And the decisions about the colors are pre-made because it's the order that the self-striping sock comes in. So I don't have to kind of think like, oh, do I actually like how these, like, do I do them in order? Do I change them around? Like all of that? No, I'm just knitting the sock. So I actually ordered this late because I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. And then I ordered it quite late. I ordered from the Cozy Knitter who dyes self-striping sock yarn. She is based here in Ontario, so local to me. And I ordered her advent skein. I was super excited to receive this. This is her 80/20 sock base. So it is fingering weight, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 405 meters or 444 yards. I also did get the accompanying mini skein to go with this, which is just a lovely creamy white, because I knew I wanted to do my toes, heels, and cuffs in a contrast color. So I did pick up that contrast color. I probably could have just found something in my stash, to be perfectly honest, but given these are kind of a more special sock project anyway, with getting the fancy hand-dyed yarn, having the yarn that matches and is the right weight just felt like a nice little extra indulgence, so I did go for that. So I'm not going to show my skeins wound up because I guess that will give more away of the colors that will be coming, but I will show you what I've cast on. She does send two 50-gram skeins, so that you don't have to do kind of like that yarn color management kind of thing in order to get matching socks. She also very helpfully included like tags at each end of the skein, which said to start knitting from that end, which I appreciated. I love having directions. So I decided that I'm using a free pattern from Tanis Lavallee. I think it's called the Basic Toe Up Socks, or I can't remember the exact title. I will put the details of that down below, but it's a basic toe up sock recipe from Tanis of Tanis Fiber Arts, who again is a Canadian pattern designer and dyer. Has lots of fantastic patterns if you want to check out her library, but this is a free toe up sock pattern / recipe. I have knit toe up socks before, but it's been a while and I haven't done it very often. But I wanted to do toe up because when I was reading about self-striping yarn, people were talking about how if you want to use as much of the yarn as possible, it's best to do your foot first, because you know that your foot length has to be a certain length, and then you can just knit the cuff as long as you have left, and it can be as tall or short as the amount of yarn that you have left in each fold, and that made sense to me. And also I'm going to do an afterthought heel, because some stuff that I read kind of suggested that that's helpful for not interrupting the stripe pattern on self-striping yarn. So it made sense to use this pattern that has the instructions for both doing toe up and doing an afterthought heel in it. I believe the pattern has instructions for both a short row heel and an afterthought heel. Okay, I'm going to show you what I have. I am going to show you what I have. So again, like, if you don't want to be spoiled for this Advent set, turn away now. I think I've done 2 and a bit stripes. So if you want to look away, you can. I am doing these concurrently, so 2 at a time-ish, not on magic loop 2 at a time. That's way too much faff for my brain to deal with. But using 2 sets of shorties to work the socks at the same time. So essentially I'll do the toe, and then I'll do a stripe on this one, and then I'll do a stripe on this one. Oh, that's not focusing at all. There we go. Yeah, so here they are, my little socks. I'm further along. This one is the one I've already worked on today. This one only has yesterday's. I did use magic loop to start the sock because you cannot do that on shorties. It's just not possible. You're starting with a small number of stitches at the toe. You start with Judy's magic cast on, and then you're just increasing out the toe. It was really fun. I really enjoyed that. It took me a little minute to get the hang of doing the cast on. I've done it in the past again. It's pretty similar to a tubular cast on, hey? It's not too dissimilar. But it just took me a minute to like figure it out, and then figuring out getting oriented so that the stitches were facing the right direction. But yeah, so I did that, got my toes done, and then yesterday I knit this first stripe, which is this lovely ferny green, and then today was this nice more clover green, maybe. I'm gonna like run out of descriptions of different kinds of green, but yeah, I'm gonna go with clover, more clover green. So those are the first 2 stripes. I did start a little bit of the 3rd stripe on this sock. This one is still just had the first stripe, not more. I don't know if I'm exactly going to be sticking to 1 stripe a day. I might do more on some days and less on others. In her instructions with the Advent, she did say that you might end up needing to knit more than 2 stripes a day. Oh, sorry, more than 1 stripe a day if you hope to have socks by Christmas Day, depending on your size and your gauge and what have you. And I don't think I mind if I finish these a bit quicker, or if yeah, I don't think I mind if I skip ahead a bit. I'm not worried about breaking the rules or anything. These are just something to enjoy for the Advent season, and to see how I liked working with self-striping yarn, to see how I felt about doing Advent socks. And so far, so good. I'm really enjoying doing a different sock construction. Maybe I will be a convert to toe-up socks. You never know. And I definitely see the appeal of like, oh, look, what color's coming next? Like, it does feel very, but yeah, it feels very motivating to find the next color. So it does make me want to keep knitting. So again, that might push me into doing more than a row a day. But we'll see. We'll see how far I get in the time. If I don't finish these by Christmas Day, that's fine. I'd love to finish them in December though, which is more than doable. So these are going to be kind of my TV, hanging out with my kid, just pick it up every now and then knitting for the next little while, because these are just going to be vanilla socks but toe up style. Yeah, so that's it. These are my socks. I'm excited about these. They're really fun. Okay, and that is everything for this week. I don't have anything else I can show you right now. I do have some ideas for videos that I hope will be coming out soon. I want to talk about a kind of project that I'm planning for 2026. I'm calling it my Stash Down 2026, and I want to do a video where I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking about in terms of my stash down, reviewing my current stash and what my goals for 2026 are. I definitely want to talk winter knitting plans at some point. I have a whole bunch of other video ideas and thoughts that I want to share with you, so look out for those. And yeah, if you want to make sure that you do see any future videos that are coming up, whether they're Wednesday updates, finished object updates, or some of those more special one-off videos, do make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to give it a like. If you'd like to share what you've been working on lately, what's on your needles, would always love to hear from you in the comments. That's always so much fun. And otherwise, I will see you next time. Okay, have fun, everyone. Happy knitting. Bye.